Hello, it's Baz at GotAUkulele with another instrument review. Probably get asked more to review this instrument than many others on the website. I've played loads of them. They've been around for a few years. I've just never had one in my hands long enough to actually do a review justice, but that changes today. It is the Epiphone Les Paul concert scale electro-acoustic ukulele. There we are. Bit of inside information first. I'm not a huge fan of ukuleles that are built to look like electric guitars. It's not an electric guitar, it's a ukulele. The ukulele has enough of an image problem with people calling them stupid toy guitars. An Epiphone then make what is essentially a toy guitar. Epiphone makes some nice acoustic instruments. I would much rather see Epiphone put out a good quality acoustic ukulele that kind of look like a ukulele. Why you'd want to play a Les Paul this small, I don't know. Beyond me. There we are. But the problems I've got with it don't really end there. I don't really like the way they've got this described as a product. It comes in at £90. The first thing I've got a gripe with is that this sparkly, flamey top is billed by Epiphone as grade AAA flamed maple. That is a flamed maple finish. Now Epiphone don't hide the fact that that is a laminate top, but calling laminate, and this is really thick laminate if you have a look at the edge of the sound hole there. Thick, dead sounding laminate. Laminate, that's a veneer on top of plywood. And to call a veneer on top of plywood AAA grade, no, it's not. There we are. It is pretty. It's in this cherry sunburst. They do a vintage sunburst as well, which is brown and yellow. Take your pick. They're the same price. We've got a rosewood finish slotted bridge with a plastic saddle and this stuck-on cream plastic pickguard. Don't like that at all. I know they're trying to replicate the Les Paul. Not all Les Pauls had them, but those that did have them had a raised pickguard here on a bracket. This isn't. And edge binding in cream around the top where it joins the sides. Next problem, Epiphone build this back as solid mahogany. It's not built in the same way as a normal ukulele. I wouldn't really class it as solid either. It's got this deep red finish. It's finished in gloss. But it's actually made of various pieces. I'm not going to be able to show you this in the light, but there are various sections that have been put together to create this body. And what's left is kind of a swimming pool shaped routed out area in the middle here, on which the top is set. To call that solid back and sides or solid body, no, I don't quite see that either. And the routing chamber in there is actually not that big, meaning that there isn't a lot of resonance here, so we'll come on to that again in a minute. Jack socket for the pickup, because it's got a passive pickup underneath the saddle. Strap button down there as well. Strap button at the top, and a cutaway. The neck is mahogany, fitted with 4 bolts rather than it being a set neck. It's got quite a nice, deep, chunky profile, which I like. It's also, though, overly narrow, I think, at the nut, which I don't like. It is faced in rosewood, unbound edges, but the frets, 19 in total, 14 to the body, all nice and smooth, no sharp edges. Finger position markers, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17 and 19. And they're repeated on the side, thankfully. I think they would look better if they were trapezoid markers like on the original Gibson guitars, but there we are. Don't know why there's so many. I don't know why I need a position marker on a ukulele at 3. Plastic nut, and up to the typical Epiphone headstock. It looks quite narrow. It's faced in black gloss, and the logo and the Les Paul signature are screen printed in gold. On the back we can see open geared vintage style tuners. I think these would look nicer if they had white pearloid buttons like on original Gibson guitars, but you can't have everything. And there we are, 90 quid. It's a looker, and if you like your little guitars, you're probably going to love this, but How's it sound? Well, first of all, I see a lot of people bigging these up as being great acoustically. You tell me what you think. This is a concert scale. It sounds like rubber bands on a box. It sounds terrible. If you bought one of these to take to a ukulele jam or your club, you're going to get lost. You're not going to get heard. Let's just put that in perspective. This is a concert. Standard concert. Now that's probably blowing out my speakers because I've got it turned up for the Les Paul. I think that's next to useless as an acoustic instrument, which begs the question, well, why put a sound hole in the first place? If you're going to try and make it acoustic, at least give it some sound. People say it's great for late night practice without disturbing the family or the neighbours. Yeah, but so is a solid body electric with a headphone amp. It's completely pointless as an acoustic instrument. It sounds, there's no sustain. Some of the strings sound dead. There's no volume here at all. It's really unsatisfying. I could forgive it that if it sounds good plugged in, and I've got it plugged in, and I've got a Roland amplifier down here which I will just turn on and let it warm up. Sadly, not great. It sounds like a louder version of the acoustic sound, little sustain, quite plinky plonky. The biggest problem I've got with it is we've got volume difference across the strings. The G string is much quieter than the others. I have taken the pickups apart on a few of these Epiphones and had the same problem, and that is because they use about as cheap a braid pickup as you can imagine underneath this saddle. It doesn't sit particularly well underneath the saddle, and therefore you get volume difference. That's unforgivable. But still no sustain either, and you're not going to hear this on this camera microphone, but I've got the amplifier into my ear here. It's quite a muddy sound. It's quite a noisy sound. I've not got it up very loud because I'll just blow the microphone out, but trust me, if I turn it up, you can't go very far with it before it starts getting completely muddled. I'm not a fan at all. So the one thing it really needs to do well, sound good plugged in, it doesn't. Please don't make comments. Look, it amplifies, it does its job. But if you've ever played something like a Risa Uke Solid, you'll realise just how good a well-priced, we're talking about 130 quid, 140 quid, solid electric ukulele can sound with a good passive pickup. This is not a good passive pickup. It seems to me that Epiphone went full out with the looks and their grade AAA laminate, and didn't really think enough about how it was going to sound, either unplugged or plugged in, because for me it fails on both of those. So it's all mouth and no trousers, as they say. It's style over substance, whatever you want to call it. It's all about the looks and it's not about the sound. I can't recommend this. I think it's a crying shame because Epiphone do make some good things, but this is not one of them. Yes, it's only 90 quid. My recommendation, if you must go for an electro ukulele, find an acoustic instrument that you really like, go to a dealer or a luthier and get them to fit a pickup underneath the saddle for you. An Art Tech passive piezo pickup is going to cost you about 20 quid. There we are. And pretty much any acoustic instrument can then be amplified. You could fit it yourself. If you're going to put a pickup in an instrument, Epiphone, a better one than this, please. I'd, push the budget up to £100, but use a better pickup. Get the pickup, reading the strings, even volume, fit it properly. I don't want a muddy, noisy pickup. It's a real letdown, but it's lacking sustain as well because of this hefty top, no resonance. There's no sustain. I know it's a ukulele, but come on. Doesn't have my recommendation. Read the full written review on GotAUkulele to learn more about it, but I am afraid I am not a fan, even if it does come with an Epiphone gig bag, which ain't that great quality either. There we are, the Epiphone Les Paul concert electro ukulele. Does not come with my recommendation.